Good morning. My name is Tealyn McCann. My story starts when I was 6 months old and was taken away from my birth family and placed in foster home, along with my brother who at the time was 3 years old. As foster parents, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of challenging behaviors, such as violent temper tantrums, having your wallpapers peeled, holes punched in walls, children getting suspended from school because they decided to put a kid headfirst in the garbage pail, or simply a child trying to run out the door. During our time in care, my brother and I went through more than 5 foster homes in 3 years. He is not in the room, so I can speak freely. I think it is fair to make the assumption that it must have been my brother's fault that we moved so much due to his crazy behavior. I'm the angel of the family. My adoptive parents' original plan was to adopt one boy between the ages of 6 to 8 so they could give their 10-year-old birth son a brother and close the age gap with other birth children they wanted to have. When the social worker met with my adoptive parents to tell them that they found a boy that was a perfect match, they got a big surprise. CAS was going to give them a real good deal. If they took the one boy, they would get 2 girls for free. Imagine that, 3 kids for the price of 1. After much praying and thinking, they decided that they would adopt all 3 of us. You might be wondering, where did the 3rd child come from? While my brother and I were in care, my birth mom had another baby girl, who was also taken into care. When we were adopted, I was 3.5 years old, my sister was 2.5, and my brother was 6. My adoptive mom believed that she would have smooth sailings with me and my sister as we were little, and we would be no trouble. She expected my brother to be a handful, and a handful he sure was. He got suspended 7 times in grade 1. Those were official suspensions, plus other times he was sent home to the 48-hour program, which was set up for him, which he hated. He would start crying in the principal's office as he didn't want to go home to the 48-hour program. On top of that, my mom was in the principal's office at least once a week the entire year of grade 1. In a recent visit at CAS, I was introduced to one of the social workers that helped my mom learn new parenting strategies and who set up the 48-hour program for my brother, Drew Surson, who my mom credits for keeping her sane and getting her through the first couple of years with us. Drew looked at me trying to remember who I was, and then she said, "You're the instigator," with the 4-sibling group. I guess I did fool my adoptive mom. She was in for more than she bargained for. She should have known that with beauty comes trouble. My mom was told by Drew that if she was not careful, that I would be worse than my brother. And boy, was she ever right. I was a wallpaper peeler and the wall hole puncher. What can I say? We had anger issues. After 12 years, the picture of the tiger, with the reminder for a peaceful solution, still hangs on our garage door. My mom would always take us to the picture and have us read it and remind us that when you're angry, you don't hurt yourself, property, or others. This is what happens when you're parenting hurt children. Today I want to talk about second chances. For a long time, I felt broken and unlovable. Then a special friend came into my life and that taught me what it feels like to be loved unconditionally and accepted for who I am, with my weaknesses, quirks, and beauty. I have decided to promote the idea that we were not born to fit in, we were born to stand out. We are all created unique with our own kind of beautiful. I decided to use my beauty for good and to be a positive influence in my community. At the beginning of June, I traveled to Newmarket to compete in a regional pageant for Miss Teenage Canada. I did well and was crowned Miss Teenage Southwestern Ontario 2018. On the weekend of August 17th to 19th, I represented Ontario at the National Miss Teenage Canada pageant in Toronto, competing against 40 other amazing teens from all across Canada. Because of my start in life, I choose as my Miss Teenage Southwestern Ontario platform to partner with CAS. When I approached CAS, I quickly learned that there was a desperate need for foster homes in our community. Someone said to me that this partnership feels like a match made in heaven. My goal now is to raise awareness in my public appearances for the need of foster and adoptive homes in our local communities, so kids can get a second chance at life, as I did. Because of the care we received in foster homes, the love of our adopted families, and the support of many people along the way, we are different individuals now, with a world of opportunities that awaits us. My siblings and I are all grown up now. My brother is 18 and attending St. Clair College in the Protection, Security, and Investigation programs with the hopes of becoming a police officer. My sister and I are still in high school, and we are both having birthdays in November. She's turning 15 and in grade 10, while I'm turning 16 and in grade 11. What is interesting about me and my sister is that we're 11 and a half months apart, and we get to be twins for 2 weeks. Our start was in foster care, and today is celebrating you, the foster parents of CAS. You are one of the first people a child sees after being taken away from their birth family. The kids that come into your home can be very challenging, as we were. As foster parents, you try to give unconditional love, patience, and kindness. In addition, you also prepare the child to either go back to the birth family or move into a forever home, which can be emotionally draining. You have one of the hardest jobs in our society. Although as much as it's hard, I am sure at times, it can also feel like the most rewarding job ever, because you're changing lives and rewriting a child's story as my life was changed and rewritten. If there is one message I could leave with you today, it would be that there will be days that you will question why you are a foster parent, there will be days that you want to quit, and days you feel exhausted from dealing with challenging behaviors. I hope in those moments you would think of me and my story. Those kids who are screaming at you, punching holes in your wall, or even punching you, or tearing wallpaper are kids who are scared, desperate for love, patience, and understanding. You don't know who they're destined to become, and after you take away the layers of pain, you will find a child who has so much potential in growing into a successful adult. I was the instigator, as Jude calls me, and today I'm a young woman growing into a confident pageant girl who is trying to make a difference in her community, in Canada, and in the lives of children just like myself. I believe that it's not blood that makes you family, love does. Thank you for listening to my story, and if you keep your home open for foster children, Thank you for keeping your homes open for foster children, and thank you for the amazing work you do every day. As I end, I want to leave with you my motto. It was written by Karl Barth. Although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending.